value where you want to go. But the back and forth step you continue to take will redirect you. So law enforcement, from my experience, is a sweet job. It may come with your qualification, and when you meet somebody who is gender sensitive or somebody like me, then you will have a smooth sail. Otherwise, if you bother with no guys, you got to stand up to them. You got to stand up to them, not in a rude way, or continue to challenge their credential. When they land A, you got to fight hard, you land A and B. Then you embarrass them both you. So drop your fear, come over, and then you will enjoy the work, and then no man will continue to discriminate or look at you as somebody who just supposed to be making coffee.
Thank you. Let us fear you, right? Yeah. I think I took that as one.
Hey, fear you. Hey, it's scary, no.
So what you also need to do, you need to take a bold step. In my office, I know all the strength of my staff. So I have to be able to evaluate them. And there's some point in time that when you see maybe the boss is being special on a particular person, you go so. Then sometimes I say, go so, go to the meeting, go represent this meeting. I'm trying to showcase you to be able to exert, oh, chief, I'm tired now. Sometimes, those kind of stuff. So you have to understand sometimes the characteristic, because you also go with, characteristic, you also go with a lot of things, and sometimes people are involved with a lot of problems. But you need to step forth and put yourself into the job. Make yourself available that you can be used. Tell your boss, what do you want for me to do? Once you start doing those kind of things, and don't feel ashamed, because if you want to showcase yourself, if you stay at the back too much, you're going to hide your talent. So showcase yourself, and then you will be utilized, and at the end of the day, you will persevere to what you want.
Don't stay behind.
Don't stay behind.
Okay. Lawrence?
Yeah, my name is Lawrence Belu, Director of Accountability Lab. I'm going to send an uncomfortable question to all of you. I say uncomfortable because the security, Liberia is even plagued. The country is plagued with a constitution that was crafted under a military regime. When the police and most of you, your offices out there were being silenced and the military took over. So we have a constitution that doesn't respect the rule of law, but we subscribe to it as a national document. A constitution that says, for example, you crime against humanity is bad, globally. But the constitution says those from the PRC that commit their atrocity will give them amnesty. It's written. You have police sector in the country that security, especially policing, is almost like 1940 or 1920. You are using rope, immigration get rope. Or meanwhile, Article 2 of the very bad law that we all ascribe to is saying we should have freedom of movement. Besides, every police station, almost every police station, there's a ghetto. The question now is, when the male-dominant society is not even engaging this in a structural way. My question directly to Commissioner Ford is, and then the other can go to the three panelists, is how is the police looking forward for our young girls? When these guys take this drug, it becomes a leeway to commit different things, especially including rape. How is the police taking very good cognizance of it when policemen, some of them will take off their blue top in white t-shirt and their blue trouser, and they are also in the ghetto. The question to you, Mr. Ford, Commissioner Ford, is how is the police, especially community policing, is taking care of our young girls so that they are not recruited into this banding? And to the three female officers, how are you consciously supporting a line of succession by going to schools in other areas and not just to complain or not just to focus on the ladies that are already in the force. How are you consciously recruiting young people that are smart, that can also move in the space and grow, and stating some of the challenges, like some of your male officers, some of the females don't want to sleep there at night simply because, that's what we've been hearing though, simply because some of the males are harassing them sexually, and some of them are running away, so they'll always give excuses at night so that they can be part of those kind of things. How are you structurally trying to recruit young ladies that we now have, this very good platform for us to educate and recruit many people and save our women and save the state? Thank you.
I think you got a question, right? And soon the morning, I saw Lawrence with one post said, smart, intelligent, and well-cultured, you've kind of joined the police, immigration, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, National Security Agency, and the Army. So I think that the question you're asking, right, you say, how you serve you as ambassador? Maybe you always start, right? Or you want to start for it?
Okay. Mr. Yeo, thank you so much. The issue of drug addiction, firstly, I would say it's a social problem. And it should be a whole or community approach. It's everybody's business. Right now in our dear country, the proliferation of drugs in our society has a lot of implications. And I'll show you we know most of the implications, security-wise and what have you. When it comes to both the borders point and what have you. So the question now comes to you back. Do we see these people as perpetrators of crime or victims of circumstances? Because it becomes a societal problem. How do we see our brothers in the street? I'm in collaboration with a lot of civil society organizations who work alongside with these Zogos. I'm working alongside with them as I speak to you now. And if you listen to some of their stories, how they get convicted within this act of illicit drug addiction, it will amaze you. And most often the responses we will get from them is through what? Peer pressure. My friend, my friend, my friend. And these people that are in drug addiction, we should not say they are only from the poor society or poor, maybe family member. There are also people who from rich family, wealthy family. They are being entrapped. People who have degrees, they are also being entrapped. One of them was a teacher from Lagosa. He graduated from Lagosa, and he's also a computer engineer. I told that young man right now, we try to see how best we can take it to the rehab home because he's willing. So we have tightened our community engagement, moving from one point to another, encouraging the guys. At the level of Bannerville Junction, when you go to Bannerville Junction right now and you go to Dixville, you will see they have been identified. They have identification wherein they are loading cars here, but they are being identified and they are being put on special segment on how to be able to behave. Even those people who find themselves among their group, if they are not working in line with those rules and regulations, definitely going to be caught up. When the incident took place at the Bannerville Junction where a lady got killed, most of them were arrested. But because of the structure they find themselves on, some of them, the Zogo will not be the one that will commit the crime. But because we see them in the street, we think they are the one that are perpetrator of crime. So the organization went back at the police station and they were able to investigate the guys, and most of them were not part of what happened until they grabbed the real culprit. So what I'm saying is that it is not only a police issue, it's a national security issue, and it's a whole community approach that we all must be able to take. It requires a serious people from the House of Representatives. Thank God we have the former lawmaker here. It's a very serious issue, and I think people are now taking some affirmative action, forming a rehab and other things. So at the level of the police, we are doing well. We are collaborating with effort. We are moving in the community, and we are trying to see how best we can get most of them out of the street by going to the rehabilitation. Thank you.
We keep our answers short and our questions short because of time.
think some of the question goes to the recruitment process.
Yeah, the question is, how are you recruiting people? Tomorrow you will not be in the LMPO. Somebody to sit down in another place, you tell the person, the people are sitting down, what I can do. And they think here, when I go to work in the morning, I can take the Russell, I sign 8 o'clock. When the medical, I say, about 9:50, you not sign me here again. Yeah, so the person will feel that they'll get power too, right?
Yeah.
And they get encouraged to get in the police. How are you doing that?
First of all, before recruiting anybody into the security apparatus, we have an age range from 18 to 35, and you must be a high school graduate. So, when we're out there recruiting people, you should know that for me, in my community, most of those girls who there, they don't want to do anything, just dress up, hang bags on them, get in the streets. I tell them, I say, all these things, it's not necessary, will not carry you anywhere. Because if you start to put yourself together, find a job to do, and start to have your own income, male will respect you. You'll not be like liability on them. So, the security sector is a very unique area where females, when you are in position and when you are educated within that area, your male counterpart feel threatened. Because they know that most women doesn't want to go further to enhance those training to combat them when it comes to the workforce or within a work area. So I encourage them. I said, you see me, when I entered police, I was at the age of 21 when I joined police. And now I'm in my 40s. Yeah. And the police is an organization that is so nice, relaxing. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice because when you know your job, you put yourself into it, it won't stress you. It won't stress you. The only way it will stress you when you are not putting your time in and when you are not focusing on the job, you are not putting your mind in the job, it gives you a tough time. So when you put yourself into it, put yourself in the shoe of your male counterpart, that they will know that what they can do, you also can do such. So we also be grateful for that.
Thank you.
Okay, so you said how we're trying to incorporate more females within a system, right? The first thing is, we still going at those days where if the child gives you hard time, he say you, because you trouble me, you go join security. Security is a career path. And anybody coming into that path should have the passion. Just how you will have the passion to become a nurse. So coming to that path with a passion, you know that you're supposed to wake up every morning going to do what you love doing. So one thing the DA with me did of recent, we came together as a team. We said we cannot rely on these men to keep going out there. So let's go. We went to schools. The first thing about the security is officer presence. Fully dressing this uniform, I can also there create attention already. And we say, let's go meet with the students. We met with them. We were talking to them to abstain from drugs. We were also talking to them that everybody cannot be a banker. Everybody cannot be an accountant. And everybody cannot go into the nursing field. The security is a unique body. It's a unique area. Trust me, wearing the uniform, you feel on top of the world. You feel like you can just, you just feel, I don't know. I just really don't know how to say it. Because sometimes people will say, how do you incorporate wearing this uniform every morning going? But trust me, without passion, you can't do it. So we just don't want to just tell everybody and say, oh, let's go and join. The first thing, we keep encouraging them that some of the students in 10th, 11th, 12th grade, you realize that up to now they do not know what they want to become. So we decided to keep going to them, keep talking to them within our community. We are not saying because you say you're not doing anything about joint security. We are saying you should create that passion. You should see the need to serve. Because as an officer, you are a servant. I can tell my police, if you want to get rich, don't join security. That place, you can't get rich over there. But if you have the passion to serve, if you have the passion to deliver, to always go out there meeting other people, then you can come in. So we are trying our possible best. And the women of DA, we are also deciding again to go back to the schools, create an awareness there every other time to talk to them that this is a path that we need women into. The more you keep coming, the more we have force, and the more we are enough, we can be able to meet up with these men who wants to marginalize us. If they are seeing us in our numbers, they can do all of those things that they are doing. So we keep talking to them, we keep encouraging them, and we keep making them to feel that being in a service is something good that we want to see and something that we love doing. We are not just there because we are not doing anything. We never had a job. We graduated from high school, we need a job. We are there because we have the passion to be there and we have the zeal to always serve. Thank you.
So, our little girls, I've been encouraging them because most times I'm about to speak to occasions. So we go in there, we focus on the women because I think we need more. So we encourage them in the first place, start a competition for the classroom with your male counterpart. Make sure you are working your mathematics and you are doing your science courses well, because that's where most of the men can post that they educated their women. In the science courses, you see some men say, women don't know math, women like this, women like that. So we start that mentorship, encourage them to firstly take their lessons serious, and make sure if you're not going principal list, at least you're going on a route. You start from there, then we start to mentor them, to tell them the importance for me. When I'm in my uniform, there is no way I go where children do stop and call me the names that they want to call, because they are yet to understand the kind of uniform we wear. So most times when they stop me, I can give me the opportunity to tell them, all right, you can be like me, but stay in school. And you know, like she said, don't think that when you take over my job tomorrow, the first thing you want to do will be to build a house or to buy a car. Don't do it. Love the job, like you admire this uniform for me, but you gotta be able to make the sacrifices to stay on the job. Take ownership of the job and make sure you enjoy doing it. When you enjoy doing security job, you don't worry about your salary. Other people worry for you. All right? When you get your uniform, they call you name, dirty police, dirty this, dirty that. By the end of the day, once you love your job. So we're teaching them to love as they admire us in the street. We teach them to love the job and love the benefit that it comes to. So our little girls, so those are little and they are on path, especially in different areas, but some of them are becoming tough. We call them tough girls who like to be tactical, wearing the tactical suits. So sooner or later, as we are going out, you see your young children coming and telling you that, oh, I want to be anti-smuggling officer, like anti-poly, I want to be LD, I want to be immigration. All the schools having career day now. You see the students now dressed up in security uniform. So that's our own way we can encourage them to come over to law enforcement.
Next question? Okay, yeah.
My name is Brenda. I have an issue. Personally, so I want to know, how do we identify our police officer or DA or whatever security sector regarding Liberia? Because sometimes people who wear uniform, they are not in these areas and intimidate citizens of Liberia. So how do we identify a police officer or DA officer?
The commissioner, maybe you can just ask me.
So let me just say, if you look at me right now, here she stands also.
You want me to say?
Yeah. So we may have maybe the similar whatever, but there's a DA stuff that is mentioned more here, right? To be able to easily identify. The man from the police officer, the seal, and the badge, and all that food. But I agree with your question. I agree with you. You know, sometimes when you have to be factual because there are other people or other officers that may not be fully entitled. Some will be in t-shirts and caps, right? And to be frank, always want them to receive monetary constraint on the other people or other security apparatus. You understand? That's why we have policy on the uniform. All police officers or law enforcement officers will be fully entitled. And they will be identified. So if you are not satisfied with anybody who on the street you see, you can take that picture and carry and report it to the police department. And that's why Mr. Yegu was talking about, what is the Yegu? Yeah, he was talking about recruitment and other people. The first and foremost, madam, how do we perceive the law enforcement in Nigeria? Law enforcement in Nigeria is the least. I'll be very frank about money. It's the least. And we see these things and we say it. If you say, for example, the cat should never eat the fish should not also have smell. So if we want a professional police institution, we must treat it as a professional area that will be able to attract professionals. Most of the time, I go treat my men, I told them that the reason why the lawmaker will not eye your salary up is because they want to control you. They want to control law, the politicians want to control law enforcement. And they will control it in a way that you will say yes sir, because your money may be small and in some aspect you may do the wrong thing. But if a policeman is taking 1,500 for example, then what is happening in Ghana? Do you think anybody will let them do their $10 for you? No. So in a society like this, when I was joining the police when I ran out of college, you know, all your policemen, so what you got for? A policeman, why you go to an assignment? Let me show you. When are you wasting your degree? It's like an insult. With something that is not being attached to a value. So that's how we continue to appeal. That's how we continue to say that we must be able to increase. The first woman that you saw the police, we're talking about female inclusion. Very true, that's what the police. And what are they? These are people, but they were not want to. Not that they don't want to, but because the profession themselves have not attracted anybody. If you go to the West Indies, you go to Ghana, you go to Liberia. If you go anywhere, you will be attracted. We hope that the government will pay key attention when it comes to salary harmonization again. If a man who has been working at Ministry of Finance has a master's degree, am I in the police for having a master's degree? Why pay that material for me and do the same work? Why? And I said, I even doing more work serving in different communities and the whole, PRS, all the available or all of the government, we serve in major security committee, making policy, crafting policy. But yet, we are carrying nothing. And these are structural violent issues. And we say people want to say you are too political. That's the reality. That's not being political. So we need to attract professionals and make the institution as a professional institution. I love the Liberia Police that we have people with a PhD. We have people who are lawyers. You got more educated people than the police. It's not like before. Challenging people. But people think that law enforcement is just a charade. They will continue to say the man should not take fire on the street. The man should not do this on the street. But now, the man also have family. The question remains, can $150 US pay the man whatever you said the man should not do this or that? So I think we need to be able to look at that aspect. And I hope some government officials are listening, they can be able to do what they want. Thank you.
That would give, okay, two.
Your question is answered.
Say how the police supposed to behave.
So, in your question now, to conclude, let me be very frank. Because I'm able to say blame the police officer or whatever. Who's supposed to arrest the police officer?
Commissioner,
How is it supposed to be?
for now, like my mother said, we have in gala day, the children wearing whatever they want to be. grow up and stuff like that. These things are on the market. Like I said previously, some people are not in the force. They buy these things, get on the street to intimidate citizens. And the moment you see them with a uniform, you become frightened. Now, how do we recognize them? You have in a DA, you have the badge. It's not a market.
Maybe there's a light here, right? Any police officer that is exercising their function that you are not satisfied with, you have the right to ask him for his badge number or his ID card. If you refuse,
You do that, and you're not offended. Tell you, who are you to ask those questions?
Okay, great. Commissioner, let me guess. Okay. Hello, let me cut that short. Let me cut that short. Anything that is not done right is not done at all. And you come to me, you want to arrest me, you must identify yourself and tell me why you are inviting me, and tell me where we are going before I can follow you. So if the man say I'm not going, you're not be when you do whatever to you, it's another crime is committing, right? So you should have a badge. That badge number. I know that the police was doing a process to have a database of a police app that you can easily track whether that badge number is correct or the ID card number. So the badge number and the ID card number are supposed to coincide. Yeah, it's supposed to be the same. I know, I understand. If you're not used to it, right? You feel more intimidated, but nobody will come to me. Me, Moses, guys, will tell me, say, you only arrest the public, tell you to know who you are. The first thing. But they see you, they will see you. Let me tell you, even the criminal know who to steal from, you know that? The criminal not just steal from anybody. They will study you before they come to steal from you. Yeah, they see fear in you, they will come to you. So, the first question, if a policeman come to you and say, you only arrest for this, the first question you ask them, they will understand that this person knows exactly what they're doing. So you see that they will draw back. But if you ask them in a way that they know that what you ask them doesn't even fit with whatever question mind you, all of them understands it. They know exactly all of the police languages, they understand everything. They will tell you the same thing. But if you ask them, yeah, so somebody have a question, I think we got two more questions, two more questions.
First, let my comment.
No, question, that has a question.
That's the question.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay. My question is, why is it that sorry for all the men here and not being rude there, but why is it that men feel security is a birthright for only men? Women don't deserve to be in security. That's my question.
That's good.
to answer your question, I think I would say it's perception. That's perception. It's on the kind of individual who sees.
That's what I mean in the comment before the question, right? Because, thank you for giving me the time, because when General Equality came, it only removed the chin from the head of women to play the work road, which is their home and their work, but it never removed the chin from our hearts because of the same attitude that was exhibited when General Equality was here. Is still going on by the men. That's where my question came from. Why men feel that security is only for men, not women?
I can turn that question around in another way. That I think I can be able to make a conclusion. Now I go back to the issue of peace and security and how it being attained in Liberia. You know that women play a very crucial role in maintaining peace and security within our dear country, Mama Liberia. Where were the men? I put it back to you. When the women, when the guns were sounding, when the women took the streets, or when the women were going in the butchers to run for, where were the men? Where were the men at the time when the women flew to Accra, Ghana, and threatened to tell their lapa if the peace agreement, comprehensive peace agreement, will not going to be signed by no war? I just bring these step back to you that from your question, from that perspective, I want to disabuse and abrogate the concept of what you have just preached. That the issue of security is what the men doing. Women play a very serious role in the peace and maintenance of our country that we enjoy today. They play a pivotal role. So that I would say it's a perception instead of fact. And we need to go back to see how we can be able to make empirical fight on that for what you are saying. But I think that in my mind that role is not being mentioned by men. Those who have that perception are not being gender sensitive. That's how we'll be able to say to you. They are not gender sensitive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And last, okay. That the women at time before you post it.
Yeah.
Okay, good evening. My name is Rebecca Brewer, and I'm with the Technical Center of Excellence under the Ministry of Justice. Before I ask my question, I will say this. The previous question, I think, like the commissioner said, it is perception, and I have worked with a few women. I think she has had an experience that she needs to be talked to about, and that is something that we need to pay attention to. So now my question is, going to everybody else on the panel there, what is your recommendation for rebranding the security sector, like changing this perception of women not being included, women is not welcome? What is your recommendation? If you are talking to authorities right now, what will your recommendation be? Thank you.
Good question. I think one of my first recommendations would be, I don't know about other institutions, but at the level of the police, I think we are progressing. We are progressing. We are progressing very well. IBP right now is very gender sensitive and making sure that they are accepted. But I think we need to have good policy. There must be general policy in every security institution that reflects the inclusion of gender equality. And it must not be just be written, it must be acted upon. Other than that, it's going to be a charade. So when you have a very good policy that speaks directly to these kind of issues that have been deliberated here, and putting forth and making sure that we have X number of women. Right now, before people go on peacekeeping mission in South Sudan, there must be at least 50% of women inclusion. So we must be able to tie this thing. And let me be very frank with you. The even issue of gender issue now is becoming almost like a war. Because many male counterparts do not understand the concept. They think that it's a war. Why are we giving women 40%? Why are we giving women 30%? And they fail to understand that women have been marginalized and the marginalization still cross and cut. Liberia is not moving a trend to be able to break those stereotypes. That's the reason why we are trying to connect this thing. And I think we need to be able to treat our male counterpart in gender issue. There should be a serious conference like this for us. That's why I say I expected the period to be back with security heads. They're supposed to be here. These are areas that are supposed to be here, and these are going to be vented out. When you speak your issue, your voices have been heard. Definitely, policy action will be taken. But if we remain mute and we don't talk about these things, people will feel that everything is well. So I think that at all levels in the security sector, the issue of gender equality and gender sensitivity is very cardinal to the bridge of all in order for us to hold our female counterpart in a strong faith so that we can be able to move forward. Thank you.
Well, I think we said 5 is done. Time is fast spent. We want to say thank you to all of you for your insightful. Your question, what I thought? Okay. You want to say something?
So, talking about recommendation, I have few recommendations. One of my recommendations is the childcare issue most women face with. In the view of one of my directors, Honorable Bauko, the Director for Administration of Liberia Trust Enforcement Agency, one of the ways of ensuring sustained female participation is a national framework should be developed to provide long-term childcare financial assistance to mothers in the law enforcement environment. Because most times we see if a woman gives birth and she is given 3 months maternity leave, we are saying within the 3 months that she will be home, we already do not want people being home, and now 3 months away from the job, it's a long time to be left behind. There are things going on. So we say the financial assistance to mothers, that way a mother can identify a reliable person who could care for her younger ones while she is away on duty. And we understand that the skill women often have is they are more able to communicate well when it comes to solving issues, and they are influential. So we shouldn't take that for granted. Another recommendation can be give women a chance to perform their roles. Women are given a position, but they are just holding a position while you are not giving them the authority to perform their roles. Every time they want to perform, you keep stepping on them, you keep marginalizing them, you keep using your system and using yourself to not push them forward. So we say, do not just give them a position, give them a chance to be able to perform. So we have government officials here present. We say, take this with you. Always allow women to perform their roles. Do not just behave like you are doing them a favor by giving them a seat. So if you give them a seat, give them a chance. I always tell my colleagues, if you are in charge, you take charge. Because if you are not there today or tomorrow, nobody will recognize you. So always make sure, once they are giving you the chance, no matter how hard they step on you, always tell them, I'm here to lead, I'm here to take charge, and I'm taking responsibility. Let them be given a chance and the authority to be able to perform their various roles given to them. Thank you.
So, mine is more appeal to our African men, like women. Please, don't allow the Western world to blow our trumpet. We want you to join him with the West to push women agenda, to push our issue on the table and have us sit right by you. We too are going to school. Help our sisters who are not in school to go to school, because the men have more money than us to some extent. So please let us helping him to our female girls in the community make sure that they stay in school. And those of us who are going to school, please incorporate us and allow us to serve. When you advertise a vacancy in the office and say females are encouraged to apply, please be real with that. Other than saying females are encouraged to apply, and when we go apply, we put all the bottleneck in front of us that we can't pass, or sometimes even if we pass, it becomes another rule again. So I am begging all of our Liberian men, please, we have made so much effort. Remember, God said He was making us to be your top mate. Please allow us to play our dedicated role right next to you and stop keeping us behind you. It's an appeal to our government officials. Tell your people that please the women are ready to serve. The middle-aged women are ready to serve. Alright? If our mothers believe well, we are ready to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think we've had a lot, right? We've had so many so many thoughts, so many expressions, and so many recommendations coming forward. I know we're going to take comment from the audience. Just before we close, so I'd like to say thank you to our panel. I think what you provided us today couldn't just be provided at any platform. They were very, very much informative. I think they were direct, and we hope that we can have this one even on a bigger platform, like you said. Maybe some of the big people we say will be around the table to be able to respond to some of these inquiries and some of the recommendations that you've made. Thank you to Nelson Ma from the LMP and Commissioner Samuel Ford, Mrs. Pauline Gu, right?
Yes.
Okay, and of course G2 Precious from the DOC. Thank you for being here today. I think you gave us food for thought, and we hope that the audience was well informed about what's happening in our security sector, especially involving the other gender, which we all know that is weak. They say they're strong, but they're so weak, so we just need to hold them very strong. I'm just kidding you, don't mind me. Women are strong, women are strong. That way. So I want to say thank you. Next up will be remarks. That will be some remarks that will come forth. So I think I saw Fake June. I'll take it from up down. Fake June? Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, it's comments.
Okay.
Comment.
Yeah. So you can just stand. Simple, so you can just hear you all go.
So hello everyone, my name is Vic June Excel Wuta. I'm a gender equality activist and I also run a young women-led organization. I want to thank SWIS for organizing this event. I think this whole organization is very timely because I have not seen any security platform for, I can say the entire country, and I'm proud that it's a young woman who's heading it. So historically, almost all of the different professions of career path has always been dominated by men because it was not really perceived that women would step up in these spaces. So the system is only favorable to men. And like politics, there are different factors or different characteristics that come in play that shy the women away from, stepping forward. But for the security sector, I think it is time we start to be very gender sensitive with the whole sector. As in, somebody used to joke with me and said that they don't have special training for women in the security sector. Everybody can do the same thing. Everybody can do the same thing. That's fine. I think if it is a fundamental training, it's okay. But if there's a need to have consideration so that women can be incorporated, we have to pay attention to it. It can't be only the traditional way that favors men, and then you like looking down the woman, oh, they're afraid of the training and all of that. So I think it's time for them to look at it. Like Mr. Yelu said, we have a constitution that is totally opposite of what we should be doing as a country. So if there's a specific policy that is in place already for the security sector that favors men more than women, there must be a need for them to relook at it and see how best they can address those issues so that women can be able to show up in those spaces. There has to be continuous training, especially gender-sensitive training. The issue about tradition is so entrenched in our society to the extent people, especially men, take it from their homes and bring it to the public spaces. I had a minor accident some time ago with a motorcyclist. Please permit me. That's the main reason I came here today, because I knew some police people are going to be here to hear my side of the story. So the Famoma police depot. So the incident happened right on 20th Street, and then it was just a minor thing with the police officer, the motorcyclist. Immediately the other police officer came, he's trying to talk to me, and most times, soon a police officer engaged me, I ask you for your name, and I take down your ID number. So I'm like, if you can't identify yourself, I'm not talking to you. You will cry, blood, whatever, shout, I'm not talking to you. So I don't talk to unidentified police officers. So when the other guy identified himself while we're having a conversation, this guy who they said is the commander of the place, why are you talking to this lady? He just came like, why are you talking to this lady? Normally I don't use the hair and thing I can plan my organ. So he saw me that one K2 student, he should come and shout at. So I was like, why are you shouting? I look like a little girl. He said, okay, back the car, carry to the depot. So the other guy came, the chief already said we should carry the car. So that when we got to the police station, so I sat down and cranked my legs. This other guy came, don't sit like this in the office. So much are you cranking your legs in for me? Yes, I mean serious. I was really provoked that day. So I said, well, is there a specific way to sit in the police station where you someone can be cranking your legs in front of me? 1 and 2, 3 times he said it. So, okay, for the sake that I had somewhere to be and I wanted to be done, I didn't crank my legs. So the other guy who was on the scene, when I explained, the moderator then asked, what the officer explained, is it the truth, is it what happened? And I said, officer, this guy explained some of his explanation, some of it is true, some of it not true. He got out, so you look at it, be me, you say he lying? So I'm like, well, you asked me a question, what do you want me to say? So he felt that the fact that he's older and we're having a conversation about something that happened, this is a professional space, and I'm your horse. So he was like trying to bring me to the point of like I'm his little daughter, he should come and control. So I mean, I had a serious issue with it that day, and you know, we had a conversation about it. I expressed my disappointment. I planned to complain him officially to his office. So when I hear guys came like, please don't complain, the guy, you know, got a new boss. Me, I thought, I know I life. You know, got a new boss. You know, maybe they'll go sacking all that. So I said, the fact that you're begging me, it means you know that he was wrong, and you couldn't say it, but because I said I would document his complaint, so you coming in my ear now to beg me. So I think the police or the security side, specifically the police, because we deal with them a lot, they need to have continuous gender-sensitive training. Tell people, if you get 500 people feeding in your horse when you come in the street, and not about 500 people you feed in your horse for you to come be controlling. Yes, we need to really echo that. And then on the other hand, sorry, Opa. There should be a lot of empowerment programs for the women in the security sector, and this is because sometimes we just put women in spaces and they're not empowered to lead in those spaces. So the fact that it's already a male-dominant space, there should be empowerment programs put in place so that they realize their full potential. You don't want to put a woman in a place and yes, she has this little gap with empowerment, you know, roles, and you like, she won't put women there, they can't perform. Are you empowering her to perform? So it's something that we have to look at. We need to ensure that they're empowered to perform in their different roles. And like I said, there should be continuous gender-sensitive trainings to reduce the issue of traditional perceptions and all of that. So it's not merely about the representation. Women need to realize their full potential. I was once in a national leadership in this country from the student political angle. And the fact that they put me in the leadership as vice president, they felt that it was enough. I was being tied. Everything I want to do, so I know there are several women who are in spaces. They are being tied down because they just want to be seen. Oh, we have women. It's not we have women. We have to be working. So please, I think we need to look at all of these things. Yes, for the issue about the maternal leave, we need to look at it holistically as a country. Maybe it should be Ministry of Gender. It should not be maternal leave. I think we should call it parental leave. So both mom and pa can go home. The woman can be home when she's taking care of the child. She's not pregnant herself. Then they're playing check or in the video club. Yes, so if it were 3 months, let it go to 6 months. He take 3 months, they will take 3 months. Yeah, one ring are true. He's supposed to be home taking care of his child and he own a child too. So that one will look at it.
Thank you. But you know, she didn't end the other part. She didn't end the other part. All the strong she said she show. Once some money she just because she said she resigned.
Yeah, because how you spend on me?
Okay. That's not the other part. So thank you for all of the recommendations. I think you were decisive, and we hope that Commissioner Ford, maybe when you go by, you can be able to take note of some of these things. When you go to senior staff meeting, you can put it forward so at least one of you can know that some of these officers will have to act diligently when dealing with the citizens. You see, every day police are our friend. Police are your friend, police are your friend, but police won't be acting like women. So I would like to call Mr. Lawrence Elu from Accountability Lab for a very short remark.
I'll make it very short. I like to speak colloquial a lot because it makes us, feel Liberian. And I just want to say to the executive directors, and all of the Code of Officers. And to the panelists, I thought you provoked the conversation, but I want to see another stage of this conversation. I'm big on rebranding Liberia. I'm big on rethinking a lot of things that we do. Simply because if the security of the country is not based on service provision, the security will not be citizen-centered. Until we can consciously make the security sector and really actively rethink about the things that happen in the security sector, and not be ashamed. And you know, in this country, when the criminal is a Gio criminal, all the Gio will back that criminal. And all the other tribes will see that person as criminal. The other Gio people will see the person like a savior. Say it with other tribes and other professions. I am hoping, and I'm recommending to SWIS, that we don't discuss this issue as a women issue. We discuss it more as a gender issue. And until we can place the gender gap and make it open and create some pathways within the security sector that women that are being sexually, and that are complaining for sexual exploitation can clearly report without fear of reprisals. We're not going anywhere. Until we can also be active and make sure that the privileged violence that the security sector parades in the country with their red, blue, and white serene on cars. When there are laws in this country, the 1972 Vehicle and Transport Regulation that says all vehicles in this country, you go to Transport, Ministry of Transport website now and check it. The vision of Ministry of Transport is in line with that 1972 law. All vehicles, whether private or public, should be registered and insured. But the government officials, especially the security sector, you all refuse to register your own. You're supposed to be the one protecting the rule of law. And I say that here, the females, please don't join the males as they are creating these things. You'll rebrand the security sector. The thing about me, I'll show my thing. The next thing we need to talk about is checkpoints. We say, oh, the country should be economically viable. These checkpoints are corruption checkpoints. Let's rethink. But you know the slogan now. Police labor kun, when we go on the highway. Police labor kun, immigration labor road. If you're in the other one, you're please go and rethink it. Me, I would not have my team when I come to the place that I can talk here. I'm not carrying it. Finally, these kind of entities. You know, the first time she engaged me, she said, oh, kindly help us structure this document. I was very happy because this is one of the funniest young women movement that I've seen because it captures the police and the security sector. Trust me, this is a good platform. Engage civil society actively and don't invite us on the 11th hour. Engage us early. Tell us some of your programs early. That's how we can look for small seed funding to pump it into your program. But if you tell us, if you come in tomorrow, you tell us, hey, you engage us today, we can't fund you. But thank you. We'll be an ambassador for this program. When we go to the places where you can't go, we will talk about this program. We'll talk about the gender gap that the gender, especially the female, are trying to address. I hope. That's my final statement. I hope that whilst we rebrand the police, that the HRA in the police too will be men, that the women will also be commanders, that we're changing some of these roles, that we not say, oh, the women are only HR, and, you know, and the men are the one that can be, and, you know, Inspector General. I hope we can switch it, and thanks to the police that we get one female as the spokesperson, but I hope that maybe after 2 years, that the president will make the RG to be a female. Thank you.
Okay, so our final comment will come from former Representative Clarence Masapwe from the Liberia Telecommunication Authority Commissioner.
Thank you very kindly. Let me just stand on the existing protocols because it'll be a long day. Absolutely. I want to say that this is a very good platform, and I'd like to thank first of all the panelists. I think it was a balanced conversation, very interesting. And I actually came here, I just thought, okay, I will go to the program because I'm in cabinet retreat. So I will go to the program, maybe just for a few minutes, and I will run back. But when I came, I said, you know what, because these things too, when you come and you are able to wait, it shows respect for those who you came to. SWIS is a very, in my opinion, is an innovative way of challenging yourself. I think there is a perceptual problem on both sides. And I was just telling the guy here, I said, you know, sometimes when they give women power, they themselves have the perception that when I apply this power, they put that respect me, so they don't even apply it. And then there's also a perception, and I really think for me, I'm taking it from a general perspective first. Our country has a perception that all the rules are established. By the time you become politician, you are elected, you are supposed to be above all the rules. Most times, those of us who get elected, that is a huge temptation. So because of that, those who are in elected position, including the presidency, actually, even the president is not supposed to be above the law. In fact, let me put it around. Even the president is not above the law. So the police, me as representative, all of those who are with me, all of those who are my family members, they expect that I'm supposed to be more than the police power. So when they get to the checkpoint and they violate, they stay right there and take the phone and dial my number and say, Honorable, I'm at the checkpoint here, the police arrested me. Why? I can't do nothing. But they expect that right in front of them, I am supposed to tell the police to back off. You see the perception, eh? So when you become politician in the country, you are policemen, even when they go to the hospital, they expect that they will not stay on the line because they are the brother to the representative. So the police, if we who are in authority, let me tell you something, from my experience, Liberians are very nice people. Liberians are law-abiding people. The issue has been those of us in power have not been able to show that we are the ones who enacted these laws and ourselves will be the first people to obey it. Right here, there's a checkpoint here. Right next door here, from the car wash. Last week, Saturday, I'm driving a vehicle that the license plate is still new in the plastic. Then I said I will just go on the old road and then I will ask the people to the garage to put the license plate on. So I'm driving right here and the policeman stopped me. I'm right in the checkpoint. He said, sir, please stop, and I stopped. He said, can I please see the car documents? No, if I said, why are you driving with no license plate? I said, oh chief, you know, I just got a license plate, I'm going to Oro, and I will pull it on. He said, please park off the road. Then I reverse and park off the road. Then he came and said, please show me the car document. Then I show it. It's current, nothing wrong with it. But the truth is, I am not driving, the license plate is not on the car. I drove off the road. I'm trying to explain how people who follow us sometimes expect that you are supposed to be above the law. Back off the road, then I saw somebody coming who knows me. And he said, oh, the police is here. Then I won a class and I said, oh no, the honorable has come in conflict with the law, so I'm trying to address it. But this is the interesting part. Another policeman walked from off the road, who heard a guy calling me honorable, walked and wanted to stop his friend from applying the law. I said, no. Are you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said, no. This man is not disrespecting me. All of those who are standing around this checkpoint, by the time I disrespect this policeman and just drive through, this guy authority is finished. It means even those of us in the government who expect that the police will keep law and order are the ones who are removing the authority from them, but still expect them to keep the law. So let's bring it down to the women. You understand? So it's a perceptual thing at the general Liberian circuit. That the day you are inducted as a representative or as a senator or as a president, automatically you are supposed to be above the law. Your family members will push you, your friends will push you, your relatives will push you if you're not strong. So it is actually strength to be in authority and yet obey the law. I parked right off the road. I said, look, please go to the garage, pour some money for me. And the mechanic man came right here and put my license plate right in front of the police. I parked off the road. I was there for 15 minutes. And I asked the officer, I said, is it okay now? He said, yes. And everybody else who came around, even the guy said, man, but you determined the honorable. I'm saying this to mean as a country, we have to get to the place where we see nothing but the rules that we have set. This is a very beautiful country. If we obey the law, people are sure that they can go to court, whether they are poor or they are rich. Their rights can be protected. Liberia will be a very, very nice place to live. We can build all the skyscrapers. The issue we have here is the issue of rule of law. I said to the president the other day, I said, Mr. President, I want us to try by all means to be remembered for defending the rule of law. We want people to come and invest here. Let's protect the rule of law. They will come. So the women, I feel so impressed. We have to take some affirmative actions. I'm happy that we have a spokesman who is a lady now, Sister Clark. That's it's very good. But the security force, most times, even in political parties, we are